Right then, welcome back. Yep, it's time for another setup, and we're doing the 2019 Suzuki Katana race bike. If you didn't see it there, I apologise. I will work on making that a bit longer. First up, we went to Phillip Island. Now, the Brazilian rider out front is on a Hayabusa. Now, they were the bane of my life and a pain in my arse throughout all of this, but we put a setup in the bike, went to Phillip Island and ended up with a rather warm rear tyre and a not too bad front. We would have ended up 20th on the leaderboards, but the bike, I'll come on to that in a minute, why the bike's not really competitive. Then we went to Kanto South in the wet, of course we did, and we would have finished second on the leaderboard. So I went back, we did a 1:39.4 in the wet, so I went back and had a go on the time trial and we got the top time of 1:33.8. But I'll do a separate video for that as normal. The bike, well, do you know what? The bike was rather good, very good at playing musical chairs. So third to first went to second, and second ended up in first. So that means that first ended up in second or something along them lines. But yeah, very, very, very good on the brakes. Like, wow, she's good on the brakes. Not the fastest thing in the world. It's got enough go. It'll light the back tyre up if you really, really, really want it to. But yeah, where do I go after Kanto? Went to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, of all places. Funny that, isn't it? Front three bikes, 1000cc and Hayabusas and stuff like that. The bike has very, very short gearing. The Katana, the race modified bike, has very, very short gearing. It smashes into the limiter for fun. We've ended up on the longest gearing possible, out on 10, and it just takes the fire out of the bike. I mean, we went to Road Atlanta, the MotoGP circuit. Look at the state of this. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. However, the changes we are making to the bike, the tyres are looking much better, much, much better. This is all done on medium softs, apart from the wet race. Obviously, that was on wets. But we're getting there. Not a massive fan of this layout. Thought I'd give it a go, mix it up. There's no point in me riding the bikes at the same 6 tracks, because the setups will all end up the same. But there we go. And the tyres are there or thereabouts. Long straights on that one, so it does tend to cool the front tyre a little bit. Then went to Donington for a look at that sunset. Isn't she pretty? Yeah. Someone commented saying you should run the races at sunset or sunrise. It looks much better. I went a little bit too late at Donington. I went for 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock, and it was maybe just a touch too late, but it is what it is. So yeah, again, tyres look good, bike's good on the brakes, there's not too many demons in this. Yeah, just lacking, it's lacking a little bit of go. However, the electronics work very well, so like the anti-wheelie and the stuff like that, but I'll come on to that in a minute. So last but not least, we went to Portimao, or Circuit de Algarve, however you want to pronounce it or say it, and went to the car circuit with this horrible, really big chicane at the start, and we would have finished second if we had done a time trial. However, the top time was on a Streetfighter V4, and just absolutely not a chance. It was about 6 seconds quicker than my fastest lap, so no way on this earth. But tyres wise, again went medium soft, and little bit of wiggle over the curb. They don't look too bad. Normally Portimao absolutely crucifies the front tyre, and the lead bike again was a Hayabusa, so I got no chance, and that's where we ended up. There's a little bit of slack in it either way, whichever way you want to go. There's a bit of slack there. You can make it a bit stiffer, a bit softer. The preload 3 and 6, not a massive difference. I found if I went any higher on the rear preload to speed it up, it was too twitchy. Pros, very usable, it's friendly, 1000cc naked race bike, it's not going to scare you, and the electronics work well. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean this. Look at this over Portimao, the wheelie. Beautiful, up towards the Craig Jones corner, it just works. Down into the chicane at the first bend over the lump, you can see the bike moving from side to side. The electronics just suit this bike really well. I don't know if it's just that bike or whatever, but so far, of all the bikes that I've used, that one, the electronics package is by far the best. Cons, slow, gearing and rev limiter. So it hits the rev limiter in 6th, all over the place as standard, so you knock the gearing out and you ended up on 10, and it just takes the fire out of the bike. It's still hitting the rev limiter in certain corners. It's not the greatest. Stability, it's so stable it can be a little bit dull, almost a bit like the Fireblade. It's quick, but it doesn't feel like it's quick. The weekly challenge with the MV Augustus Series Oro the other week, that's a fast bike, and you know it's fast because it's trying to kill you all the time. This, not so much. And that's about it. I put aesthetically challenging, but I quite like the Katana. Some people don't. It doesn't look very good in silver. It looks better in the kind of matte dark grey and the black that they've just released. They're better. Much better colour schemes. But yeah, that's about it. It's not a bad bike. If you want a 1000cc bike that's going to work everywhere in the wet, in the dry, or on challenging circuits, that is probably the one for you. But yeah, I'll stick one of the races up, and I'll do the world record vid again, a world record, Xbox record video from Katana, and that's about it. And we'll try and get one of these out every day or so. It might be a couple of days between ones. I might be able to get one a day. I don't know, because they take a fair bit of effort to get done. But I'll do them. But thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. You're all fucking amazing. I really appreciate it. And fingers crossed, I will see you next time. Take care. Stay safe. Peace.